thank you everybody for joining us tonight on our area management training. This is going to be to discuss our online athlete registration and medical form. This is the long form that we started using at the beginning of the year, but we have the option to complete that online. So we're going to show you how to go about that. We would like to thank Merisher for making this training possible for us this evening. We're going to walk you through the whole process of completing that athlete registration medical form electronically. It is completely safe and a secure procedure that is available for all athletes. What's great about this is it automatically sends a copy of the athlete's release directly to the SOMI state office. Your athletes do not have to complete this new form until their current medical is expired. So we do know that there's going to be that overlap between athletes that, still they completed that one-page form, and it's good for another year or two. That's fine. They won't have to use this new form, whether it's the paper version or the electronic version, until that current medical is expired. Our agenda tonight is going to be completing the form, how to find the form, what the next steps are, and the benefits. To complete this process and complete the form, you do need a correct, valid email address. You will need to make sure that all fields are correct and filled in correctly. This form can be accessed and completed using a tablet, a smartphone, and a computer. We know that not everybody has a computer, so we have tested it, and we know for ourselves that it does work great on both an iPhone and an Android, and it will work on a tablet as well. Once you've completed the form, you're able to print it, and you can scan it back to us at the regional emails as well. How to find the link. You're going to find the link to the form on our website, which is www.somi.org. It's in the Get Involved section under Become an Athlete. You go to Step 2, Register Online, and scroll to the Athlete Registration and Medical Forms. And I'm going to show that to you now. Maybe. Sorry about that. Okay, so once you are at somi.org, you can click on the Get Involved box, Become an Athlete, when the Become an Athlete page opens for you, you can scroll down to these tabs. Here you're going to find Step 1, which is the Athlete Interest Form. If you are a new athlete to Special Olympics Michigan, you're going to want to go ahead and complete that. If you are already a current athlete with Special Olympics Michigan, or in the meantime, you can have your athletes click on Step 2 to register online. When the Register Online portion opens, you can see here we've got a few different things. We do have up on the site already an athlete registration guide, which I'll show you. That is a step-by-step pictures of what we're about to go through live for you online. You can point athletes and the families to that for assistance. We also have a video that shows the step-by-step that we've created. And to get to the form, you just click on the Athlete Registration and Medical Forms tab. and it takes you directly to the athlete registration medical forms, the online page. You're going to choose to select your region, which is United States. You do want to read these instructions and next steps very carefully. It breaks down the process for you and kind of explains a little bit about what each of the sections are. And it tells you the next steps about how you need to print and take the form to your physician to complete the registration process. Once you've read that and understand, you can click Start. Here's the first part of the form. It's the athlete registration. You're going to select your state program. You want to make sure to choose Michigan. And then you choose your local area and delegation from the drop-down menu. It has all of the areas here. There's also a do not know, just in case somebody is unsure of where they should be placed. And there's also a spot for Unified Champion School. So if you have an athlete that competes as an athlete through a UCS, you're going to want to make sure that they know to choose that option as well. I do want to point out that any section, any spot or question on the form that has the little asterisk or star is required. It will not allow you to go any further until that is complete. The other good thing is all along the form, there are these little red eyes, and if you click on them, it gives you more information or an explanation of what something is, which is incredibly helpful when you get to the medical question section, and I'll show you there. It asks if you are a new athlete to Special Olympics or re-registering just for the purpose of updating your forms. Then it takes us to the athlete information portion. Whoops. You can see I already messed up. I can fix that. If you have or your athlete has a preferred name or a nickname that they like to go by, you can type that in for us here. Address. Zip code. And a valid phone number, the best phone number to reach the athlete. You do need that valid email address because this is where a copy of these forms will be sent to. Gender, race, language spoken. If the athlete has an employer and they would like to share that with us, that's optional. This section is very important. It asks the question, does the athlete have the capacity to consent to medical treatment on his or her own behalf? If the athlete is a minor, that answer is automatically no. Also, if the athlete is not their own guardian and is not able to sign legal documents on their own behalf, you're going to want somebody that can and does have the right to make those decisions and sign for the athlete. Parent or guardian information. And then it asks if the same contact information as the athlete. So if the parent or guardian, whoever's completing the form for the athlete, does live at the same address, you can click yes, and it auto-populates that information in for you. You just want to add the phone number because it may differ from the athlete's phone number. Go ahead and click continue. And now it takes you to the medical or an emergency and medical contacts. If That emergency contact is the same as the parent or guardian. You can choose yes. If you want to give us a secondary emergency contact, that's great. The doctor's information, obviously, at least the physician's name and phone number, if possible. And the insurance company policy number and insurance group number, if you have that readily available. The sport interest section, you can go ahead and choose sports from the drop-down menu, and these are sports that the athlete participates in or wishes to play. You can choose as many, add as many to the list as you would like. And if there's any sports that are not listed from those drop-downs that you potentially would like to see, you can go ahead and list those for us here. And then it asks if a doctor has ever limited the athlete's participation in sports. Current health status. If it asks the question, does the athlete have any of these? And again, there's the little red eye, which gives you some information. Allergies and dietary restrictions. This section is very important. This information is very important for us to know. If there are no known allergies, you can just check that box. If there are, you go through individually. And I'm going to say that our athlete is allergic to bees. Assisted devices, it wants you to choose any that apply. So if the athlete uses or wears any of these items. Surgeries, infections, and previous vaccines that we should be aware of. And then you have to answer these simple questions. It does ask if the athlete has had a tetanus vaccine in the past 7 years, yes or no. Epilepsy and or seizure history. Has the athlete ever been diagnosed or experienced a seizure? Mental health section, again, wants to know if the athlete has ever been diagnosed with or experienced any of these. If there are any additional mental health concerns, you can go ahead and type that in the box for us. And continue. Here's the family health history section. Again, if that could be completed to the best of your knowledge. If there's any conditions that run in the athlete's family that we should be aware of. And here's the past diagnosis section. It does require that you answer every single one of these. It goes very quickly. And again, like I said, I would show you when you click on these, it does give an explanation of what the disorder or what the condition is. So let's go through and click all of those. You just want to read these very carefully to make sure. If there have been any previous broken bones or dislocated joints, you would want to share that information with us, or if there's any ongoing or past medical conditions that we should be aware of. And also, if the athlete is a female, if you're aware of the last menstrual period. Neurological symptoms portion. Again, read these very carefully. Make your choices yes or no. And continue. Current medications. If there's any medications, vitamins, or dietary supplements that the athlete takes, you will want to share those with us. You not only want to share the name, but also the dosage that they take and how many times per day. And you can add as many spots as you need. And then we also need to know if the athlete is able to administer his or her own medications. Continue. And now it asks you about the submit and sign. You do not want to close your browser until you have actually signed. It's going to ask the name of the person who will be signing the release forms. Again, like we said, if it's the athlete themselves, you want to make sure that they are eligible to sign for themselves, that they're not a minor, and that they are their own guardian. And if not, then you want to explain who it is, and what the relationship to the athlete is. And again, you want that email address. This is going to go to the person that's going to receive the email copy of the forms you just completed. And it asks you to confirm the address. And here you must check yes to consent to yours or your athlete's personal information being sent to you to an email address. Once you check yes, you can hit submit. It now redirects you to the DocuSign page where you're actually going to sign the documents. This little portion comes up here. It asks you to read the electronic and signature disclosures up here. And once you've read that and you agree, you're going to check the box and then click continue. It now shows you it shows you in form exactly the information that you just gave us to complete the form. It checks off all of those little boxes for you. If you realize that you have forgotten something, or that you forgot to check off that they were glasses or contacts, you can do that on this portion. Or if you checked something by accident and you need to uncheck it, you can do that. Then you're going to want to, once you've reviewed those documents, you can click Start, and Next. It just takes you to each individual page. It's going to take you down to the athlete registration form. We're now in the portion of the forms that require the signatures. Here's the registration information. Here's the athlete likeness release. As you can see, it puts a little yellow box that says sign. You're going to want to click on that. If an athlete has completed the form for themselves, the box will be up here. If it's, again, that person that's the parent or guardian signing for them, you're going to click on the little yellow box. And it gives you can change it if you would like, or if you forgot to add a middle initial in here and you want to do that, you can. If you're okay with those signatures, you can go ahead and click Adopt and Sign. And you can see it automatically filled in that signature and the date. You now go to the next one, which is the actual athlete release form. It's giving permission, saying that they're physically able to take part in Special Olympics activities. The likeness release for us to be photographed, videoed, emergency care questions, personal information. And again, you'll find that little yellow box and you click on it and it automatically populates the signature and date. The final page on the form is the concussion awareness and safety recognition policy. There are no signatures required on this form, but we want to make sure that they are read very carefully. Once you have gotten down to the bottom and it tells you that you are done, you can go ahead and click Finish. Then this page pops up and it tells you, wait, you're almost done, but not quite yet. And again, it just goes over that information. It reminds you that you're going to receive an email with a copy of the forms, but you're not done with your registration, that you are going to need to go to a doctor or nurse to have the exam done, or if you're attending a Special Olympics MedFest event. I am going to show you, we'll give it a minute to come through, and I'm going to show you what that form looks like. So as you can see, I've already received the email to get a copy of my form. When you receive that email and you open it, this is what it looks like. It thanks you for submitting the athlete registration and your health history and release forms. And it does explain to you yet again that all athletes must be examined by a licensed medical professional and have page 3 of the medical form completed and signed. Once they are signed, it gives you those directions. It tells you what to do, whether you're attending a MedFest, just that reminder that you're not done. You go ahead and you click on View Forms, and it takes you right back to DocuSign to those pages. So you've now received an email letting you know that you're complete. You can print a copy for yourself. You can print this. You're going to want to print the whole packet with all of the health history information that you completed and take to your physician's office for your physical, just for review and to go over. This is the page that is the actual physical exam. The doctor will complete this portion for you, and you need to make sure that it is signed and dated. If they want further evaluation or referral to another doctor, that's when this portion would be completed. If there is no further evaluation necessary, then the doctor will not complete this form. Again, it gives you a copy of the actual registration and the release forms that were signed. So again, you're going to want to print this portion and take to your physician's office to have that signed so that you can complete the registration process. Or if you don't have a printer and you're unable to print, you can download a copy onto your computer. And by doing that, if you download a copy, then you can go ahead and the athlete can email it to a coach to be printed, or the area director is welcome to print it for them, whoever, so that they're able to print that portion and get it taken to the doctor's office to be completed. You will receive, once we receive a copy of it through DocuSign, and we approve the copy, meaning that we verify all the signatures and that everything is filled out, you'll receive another email letting you know that we approved it, that it's submitted. So what's next? After completing the physical form, you will receive a follow-up email, which I just showed you. In the email, you receive that copy that you need to print and take with you to your doctor's appointment. The doctor has one page to complete. After your doctor completes and signs the form, you're going to scan it, the whole form, and send the completed form to either your area director, the coach, or regional staff member. Area directors and coaches, you're going to want to make sure to get that page to us. It's very important because we will not be able to allow the athlete to participate until we have that signature. This is just an example, again, of that email, what it looks like. We do understand that this is a new process. It's going to take time to get comfortable with. We're here to help you guys. We can answer any questions possible. We hope that you will point your athletes in the direction of this. We will still be accepting the paper version of the form that is still on the website. We know that this is not for everybody, but you saw, I mean, even me doing the step-by-step explanation, the process goes really, really quickly, and it eliminates those missing signatures for us. Again, when you have the copy of the physician signature of the physical, they're going to want to send this in to us. You can send it into your regional forms addresses, just like where you send all the other forms to us.